For cheap games, check out g2a.com, link in description. Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to another video. This time around we are back in Heroes and Generals. It's been a while since I've been back in the game, but today we're going to talk about sniping. And in general, can you really be an aggressive sniper in a more realistic game like Heroes and Generals? Now, you all know you can do that in Battlefield. There's a lot of things that don't really come into play when it comes down to Battlefield 1, like your sway. It doesn't really have that much sway. Stamina doesn't really affect you by that much. The bullets, the attachment, things like that you put on the gun, like you can choose all that in Heroes and Generals, and that's what makes a gun sort of good. You can have a lot of sway on it, you can sacrifice a little bit of power for less sway, and there's all sorts of ways for you to configure your sort of preferred weapon, as it were. I mean, for me personally, it's always been the most damage. I don't really care if I'm going to have a ton of sway, because I've never really been one of those guys that will sit 200-300 meters out and snipe in. So I kind of always wanted to go in up close and personal, and that's what we're going to talk about today is, can you really be an aggressive recon in a more realistic game like, say, Heroes and Generals? Now, mostly you'll see a lot of the snipers when you play the game, if you haven't played it in a while, you'll see them up on the hills, perched somewhere with the badge on. I mean, the best badge for you to play as a sniper is just that simple. It's going to be camouflage. Camouflage is going to give you basically no kill cam, so nobody knows where you shot him from, and they can just keep on shooting, and that's that. Now, even though you spent your time and you've leveled that up and you maxed it out to get it to a gold standard where you don't really get a kill cam anymore and you can do your shooting from whatever you want without being discovered, the thing is, unless you have a membership for the game, which you can have 2 badges, though you can run camouflage in heavy set, you're always going to be at a disadvantage. Now, I don't really get the badges because I don't really need to have 6 months, a year, or whatever. I usually get it for 24 hours when I play, and I know I'm going to be playing for a couple hours, then it's definitely worth for me to get it. It's about 76,000 credits to get, or you can get it with gold if you really want to, but 76,000 is not really too much to get, and you can have 24 hours of that badge, so you can just have a bit of fun with it. Now, the thing is, with the sniper, you're only going to have the main weapon. You can't really have a pistol with it, you can't really have a grenade or anything like that. What you can do is, you can switch an infantryman, you can convert it to another branch of the army, so you can switch the infantry, you can switch it to recon, therefore you're going to get a little bit more of a slot, well actually an extra slot or whatever too, and you can actually carry a pistol or a grenade. Now, one of my favorite setups is the sniper rifle with an anti-tank grenade, because you're always going to be sort of behind enemy lines, so you might as well just take out a few tanks along the way and help out your team that way. Another thing that you can do, instead of just sort of chilling out on the hill somewhere, you can go in and protect the objective. You can try and take out the objective. Now, I know you're probably thinking, well, hang on a minute, I'm a recon, I'm supposed to be up in the hills doing what I can from up there and just taking out enemies at longer ranges, but can you still go in there and do the job if needs be? I mean, you're going to join a game where not everybody's going the right way, and not everybody's pushing, not everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it might come down to you to help out as much as you can. I mean, you need to keep that objective locked down, you need to keep on killing the enemies, you can't let the objective fall, and it's going to come down to you. I mean, you'll see mostly around here it's 1-2 guys, and there's always somebody coming in. Now, I could easily just go pull back and try and take 1 of them, 2 of them out while they're coming in towards the objective. Possibilities for me to miss could happen. He could get in, and by the time I've gotten in, there's already 2-3 guys into good positions inside, and then I'll be at a disadvantage. So the best way for me to protect this objective is by being aggressive and trying to take out as many as I can of them without giving them an option for them to sort of regroup themselves and come in. I'll give my team enough time to get some APCs in, to get some tanks, get some respawns, get some people in, get some men in on the objective, because at the end of the day, you don't win the game by just killing players, you need to cap objectives. Now, you can win games in Heroes and Generals by killing players if there's not enough resources and they only have a couple of hundred men for the infantry and that's it, and you wipe them out and they have no infantry and they get no reinforcements. You can win games that way, but those things are pretty rare. And chances are the way you're going to win a match is by capping flags. Now, capping flags, it's important even though you are a sniper. I mean, I do advise if you're going to go in there and you're thinking about sort of switching from your infantry to recon, getting yourself an extra sort of pistol or getting yourself a grenade is going to make a huge difference. I mean, like I said, I've always been a firm believer into getting a sniper rifle that will do a ton of damage. It will do 90 plus damage even though it's a one-shot kill, but if you have heavy set, it won't kill you in one shot. Even though it's a torso, unless I'm hitting you in the head, it will not kill you unless you don't have heavy set. Now, chances are a lot of people do run heavy set because you don't want to be at a disadvantage. You want to have that little bit of an edge just in case somebody shot you in the back, and you have a bit of a second there just to sort of turn around and try and sort of favor things in your way a little bit. Hopefully you'll get him before he gets you, and that's kind of why heavy set comes into play a lot. And as a recon, a vast majority of the players will favor the camouflage badge. They'll not go for the badge that gives you a little bit more health or gives you more of a chance to fight. They'll go for the camouflage badge because you can simply just get a ton of kills without being spotted. Unless you're being heard or somebody has an idea what you got shot from, then he'll have no idea where you shot him from. So that sort of gives you a bit more of an advantage. Now again, for me it's a little bit different because I never really enjoyed, like I said, I don't really enjoy just sitting away 200-300 meters out and just getting 1 or 2 kills and not really doing too much for the team. Can you really, I mean, it comes down to, can you really win a game with recons in Heroes and Generals? Well, probably not. But the reason you won't, because none of them are really that aggressive, and you won't go into cap objectives, and you'll just see them up in the hills, and they'll get a couple of kills, but eventually you'll just keep on getting pushed, and eventually you'll lose the flags, and you will lose the match. It comes down to, do you really want to be an aggressive sniper, or don't you? I mean, if you're happy with just being up on the hills and getting a couple of kills, then that's fine, that's your own play style. Nobody's forcing you to play it a different way. But if you really want to benefit and help your team, this is something that you should be looking into and trying your best to do as much as you can to help out the team. Even though you're not going to take out that objective, you've been there long enough to keep them confused and keep them guessing that you're always there and somebody is inside that objective and he needs to die. And they're always going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 men coming at you instead of going for the next objective. Therefore, you're giving your team time. And time is of the essence when it comes down to Heroes and Generals, because that's what it's all about. It's time to get the right resources, get the right equipment, get the right men into the right positions, and therefore you can take the flags and win the game. If you don't feel confident enough that you have the right tools for the job, you don't have the right badges, you don't have the right attachments, go ahead and play as much skirmish as you can, go ahead and play as much assault as you can, because that's a big old playground. You're going to get to test all that weapon, you're going to get to unlock things. You're not affecting the war, you're going to have the same resources as everybody else. It's just going to be a lot better for you to try and play there as much as you can before you're ready for the next big move, which is going to be war mode, where things are playing out a little bit different and you have to do certain different things. You have to listen to your team, you have to communicate more, and you can be an aggressive recon, and you can be a good asset to your team without you sort of chilling out in the bush somewhere. Now, before we end the video for today, I'd like to say that if you're playing for the Russian army, if you are playing for the Soviet Union, I do have a code for all the planes, so I'm going to give you a code. It's going to give you a Russian pilot plus all the planes in there. So go ahead and leave a comment if you're interested in one of those. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.